begin tonight here with the breaking news after the deadly shooting of that ICU nurse by federal agents in Minneapolis. There is new video just now emerging tonight and what it shows. The video appearing to show Alex Pretti in a confrontation with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed. A man who appears to be Pretti, along with others on the scene, shouting at agents who had been blocking an intersection on January 13th. What then plays out on that video, and you'll see it right here. Meantime, another major development tonight, a Customs and Border Protection spokesperson now claiming the two agents who shot Alex Pretti were placed on leave immediately after he was shot and killed on Saturday, contradicting Border Commander Greg Bovino, who said at the time that those agents were still working, but in other locations. And all of this comes tonight amid another alarming scene that unfolding during a town hall in Minneapolis last night. A man seen attacking Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, spraying her with an unknown liquid from a syringe. Tonight, he's now under arrest. And after the attack, President Trump suggested the Congresswoman did it to herself. ABC's Matt Rivers leading us off tonight from Minneapolis.
Tonight, new video appearing to show Minneapolis ICU nurse Alex Pretti in a struggle with federal agents 11 days before he was shot and killed. You see a man who appears to be Pretti and others on the scene shouting at agents who had been blocking an intersection on January 13th. A man who looks like Pretti seen kicking a federal vehicle before agents got out, pushed him, and tackled him to the ground. Agents then firing gas into the crowd. But the agents got up, and the man appearing to be Pretti walked away, a gun visible on his waistband. We don't know what happened before this altercation. DHS is reviewing this video. And tonight, sources tell ABC News the two federal officers who shot Alex Pretti over the weekend have been placed on paid administrative leave. A Customs and Border Protection spokesperson telling ABC News the two officers have been on leave since the shooting Saturday. But that directly contradicts comments made by Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino over the weekend.
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis, but in other locations. That's for their safety.
We asked DHS about the discrepancy. Are they on administrative leave or are they working elsewhere? And we have not heard back. According to a preliminary DHS report sent to Congress, one of the federal officers involved is a Border Patrol agent and the other is a Customs and Border Protection officer. That report says DHS conducted a preliminary review of body-worn camera footage. And it's the first time the agency has acknowledged critical facts, including that two agents fired guns during the shooting. The DHS timeline says while agents attempted to take Pretti into custody, a struggle ensued, and a Border Patrol agent yelled, "He's got a gun," multiple times. 10 shots were fired in just seconds. Nowhere in the DHS report to Congress does it say that Pretti ever brandished a weapon or even attempted to reach for his gun, which he was legally allowed to carry. The report also never mentions that Pretti was disarmed before he was shot, as video appears to show. Stella Carlson speaking out to CNN. She was the woman in the pink jacket just feet away from Pretti when he was killed.
Did I think I was going to be filming a murder? No. An assassination? No. I mean, I watched him die. I remember him arching his back and his head rolling back, and it was so fast moving, but not for me. Like, when they left, when they fled, which now I see, that after the shooting, they decided to just scatter and save themselves.
Today, Governor Tim Walz making an unannounced visit to the growing memorial for Alex Pretti at the spot he was killed after speaking to President Trump. I spoke to Walz just as he arrived.
And do you believe that there will be a shift in tone here from the administration after your conversation with the president here on the streets?
I'm not so interested in a shift of tone. We just need them out of here, and we need accountability for what's happened.
And tonight, growing bipartisan calls for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem to resign after millions of Americans saw those eyewitness videos showing that Alex Pretti never brandished or pulled out his gun before he was killed. This is what Secretary Noem said just hours after the fatal shooting.
This looks like a situation where an individual arrived at this scene to inflict maximum damage on individuals and to kill law enforcement.
That ICU nurse's family called the administration's response a lie. And tonight, Republican Senators Lisa Murkowski and Tom Tillis joining Democrats demanding Noem step down.
She's a complete failure on disaster response. She clearly doesn't know how to manage. She's never managed a large organization, and she's failing at every possible measure of the job.
And after President Trump signaled he would de-escalate operations here, tensions remain high. Tonight, the FBI investigating after Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar also called for Secretary Noem to resign.
ICE cannot be reformed.
When Omar was attacked at a town hall in Minneapolis overnight.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
A man suddenly approaching her and using a syringe to spray her with an unknown substance. Security tackling the man, identified tonight as 55-year-old Anthony Kazmierzak. The congresswoman, who has been widely criticized by the president and the administration, finishing her speech.
Here's the reality that people like this ugly man don't understand. We are Minnesota strong, and we will stay resilient in the face of whatever they might throw.
After the attack on Omar at that town hall, our Rachel Scott speaking with President Trump on the phone. The president suggesting she had herself sprayed in the attack, saying, quote, "I think she's a fraud. I really don't think about that. She probably had herself sprayed, knowing her." But there is no evidence of that. The president also telling Rachel he hadn't seen the video when they spoke last night. And tonight, violent clashes outside the Dilley Detention Center in Texas. Protesters demanding the release of 5-year-old Liam Ramos and his father. The preschoolers seen here standing in the Minnesota cold last week when ICE took them into custody. First the boy, they say, to care for him, and then arresting the father, sending both of them more than 1,300 miles south to this Texas detention center. Congressman Joaquin Castro visiting Liam and his father today, posting this image, the little boy sleeping in his father's arms. A federal judge now blocking their deportation as their legal battle plays out.
And David, Border Czar Tom Homan, now overseeing federal operations here in Minneapolis, expected to hold his first press conference here tomorrow morning. David?
Matt Rivers live in Minneapolis for us tonight. Matt, thank you.